Okay, we're ready to get started this evening for our convention webinar. Thanks everybody for joining us this evening. It's getting exciting. We're only about 8 days away and lots of flurry of activity in the national office here, and we're all looking forward to seeing everybody next week. I'd like to thank Bobby McGraw from Alternative Communication Services for providing CART this evening. Thanks, Bobby. And I'd like to thank Joan Haber for presenting tonight. Joan is a longtime member of the Hearing Loss Association of America. She's served on our Board of Trustees and is very active in HLA chapters for several years. And she's going to attend her 18th consecutive convention. So she is the perfect one to go through the program and answer questions. But before we get started, I just want to tell you that everybody should see the cover of the convention program on your screen. However, when Joan advances to a particular page, that will not happen on yours. You will need to advance to that page. And you can do that by if you can scroll down with your mouse, if you hover over. You can also increase or decrease the size. If you hover over the top of the program, you'll see a menu appear that has a minus sign and a plus sign, so you can make it larger or smaller. And you can also print it from here. I don't know that you'd want to do that, though. You'll receive a printed copy on site next week. So before we get too deep into the conversation, I just want to make sure that everybody is following along and is able to advance the program. Type in the chat box if you are not. There's also the scroll bar on the right-hand side of your screen that will also advance the pages. So I'm not really seeing any comments about that, so I'm assuming that everybody is on the same page, so to speak. So Joan, I'll let you go ahead and start, and if there's any comments or questions as we go along, if you will type your question in the chat box. And what I'll do is, Joan, when you're finished with your presentation part of it, I'll go back and voice those questions to you so that they then become part of the CART transcript. Deanna, to answer your question, yes, the pages are numbered. It's just that the cover is not. But if you scroll down past the advertisements in the front, you'll get to the table of contents, and I'm assuming, Joan, that's where you'll start. You will see the page numbers. This is the PDF of the proof that went to the printer. However, we have redacted the location of 2017 for now. We're going to keep it a secret just a little while longer. So, Joan, with anticipation, go ahead and start.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nancy, and thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I see, according to the chat room, there's 18 people in the room, so I'm really glad you're here. And for those of you who are attending your first convention, you're really giving yourself a heads up and a leg up by coming to this webinar tonight, because you're going to have some inside information and you're going to be a little bit better prepared before you arrive in Washington. So I'm very glad that you're here, and this is going to be a great experience for you. This is going to be the 32nd annual HLAA convention. The first one was held in Chicago and in the 80s, and so here we are in Washington, D.C. in 2016. The conventions are held all over the country. Last year was in St. Louis, and I'm sworn to secrecy as to where next year's is going to be, but you'll find out as soon as you get to the convention because it's in the program that you're going to be receiving. So the Hearing Loss Association mission is to open the world of communication to people with hearing loss. And we do that in 3 ways, through advocacy, education, and support. Well, this convention that you're going to be attending is going to encompass all 3 of those aspects of our goal. And you might not even be aware until after you get home and digest all the information that you obtain as to how important it is to you. There might be some reasons why you're going to this convention for the first time, or maybe there might be some reasons why you're going the 18th time, such as I am. I have found over the years going to these conventions that each year that I go, there's just a little bit something different for me. There's a twist that maybe I'm looking for, or some support that I'm looking for, or some specific information about hearing aids or cochlear implants. And over the years, each year that I've gone, I have gained so much knowledge and information and camaraderie. I go to these conventions now and it feels like I know everyone, and it feels like going home. And I'll also tell you that going to a convention like this is like going on a vacation for your hearing. Because while you're at the convention, you're not going to have to worry about understanding. Because not only will everyone be using microphones, there will be CART at all of the sessions. There will be looped rooms at all of the sessions. There will be a mobile app that you can utilize to see captions on your phone, even in different languages. And there will be sign language interpretation for the plenary sessions and the opening session and the research symposium. So there is going to be no chance that you won't understand what's being spoken at anything that you go to. So this year's convention has an added dimension of being held jointly with the International Federation of Hard of Hearing People. They are holding their Congress, which they do every 4 years, and this is the first time that they have held it in the United States. And so it's kind of an added bonus that there are going to be people from all over the world attending this convention. In fact, Nancy told me that there were people from, I believe, 20 or 30 different countries attending. So I just want to check, just want to have this interactive. 22 countries, Nancy said, okay. So for those of the people that are in the room right now, I would just like you to type into the chat room what state or country you're from, just so we can kind of see where everyone's at. So I'll do it myself too. Okay. California, Arizona, North Carolina, Maryland, Florida, California. Oh, Tokyo. That's great. Nebraska. Another North Carolinian. Hi, Cynthia. Okay. Well, thank you all for doing that. South Carolina. And I'm sure that you're going to meet a lot of people at this convention that might even be from your own state and you didn't even realize it. Maybe you haven't been involved in your state organization or had the opportunity to meet other chapter members from other cities within your state. So this is going to be a great opportunity for you to network with people from your own state, from your chapters, and from people all over the country that are here for the same purpose, and that is to rejoice and enjoy time spent with other people who understand exactly what you're going through, what your challenges are, and what your joys are. So the first convention, as I said, was held in June of 1984 in Chicago. And I just wanted to mention that for those of you who are brand new to the organization, that our organization was founded in 1977 by Howard E. Stone from Maryland, and everyone knew him as Rocky. He was our beloved leader and visionary for this organization. And he was born in 1925, and he passed away in 2004. And our organization has thrived and grown and really come to encompass the vision that he laid out for us. And he gave us a blueprint for going forward. And we've taken up that blueprint as a gauntlet, and we've been very successful in doing that. These conventions are a wonderful way for you to really understand what this organization is all about. So again, I want to congratulate you for taking this step. Now, the main thing that we're going to talk about is this program that's in front of you. And you may wonder why we're going to focus on the program, because as soon as you get to Washington and register for the convention, you're going to be getting this program in hard copy. But depending on when you get to the convention, you might be racing in there on Thursday at noon, or Thursday at 10 in the morning, or maybe even Thursday afternoon. And you're going to find out that everything has already begun. So the horses are out of the gate, so to speak, first thing Thursday morning. And so what I want you to do from tonight's program is to be able to take away with you a plan for how to get organized so that you make full use of your time at the convention, and you're not sitting in a corner with your head in your booklet trying to figure out where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing and when, and then you discover that you've already missed something. So I'm hoping that a lot of you will get to the convention on Wednesday. That's when I plan on arriving, because there are some chapter and state leadership meetings going on Wednesday. And but just in case you aren't getting there on Wednesday, believe me, you will get updated as the convention goes on and some of the different sessions about what you might have missed on Wednesday. In fact, Valerie Stafford Malice, who is the director of our chapter development, she's going to be holding some workshops on Thursday and Friday and Saturday perhaps to update those of you who might not be there for the Wednesday sessions so that you aren't missing anything. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about first before we dive into the program is the mobile app. And Nancy, perhaps you might want to just cover this part briefly about the mobile app. Would you like to do that?
Sure, absolutely. It's one of my favorite projects. It's sponsored by CTIA, the Wireless Association, and it basically puts this program in the palm of your hand. Even though you can go to the mobile app on any device with a browser, it's best viewed on a mobile device. In the so to get it on your mobile device, all you have to do is download it from your app store, whichever device you use, whether it's an Android or a Google phone, whatever it is. It is in all of the app stores. You just search on HLAA 2016, all one word, and you should be able to find it and download it to your desktop. What is really cool about the app, and there's several things, in the opening session, when our new executive director, Barbara Kelly, gives her presentation, she's going to ask some questions of the audience. And you're going to be able to go to your app and go into the polls and feedback tab and answer the question right on your mobile phone. Barbara then is going to go to a web page that will give the live results. And it sounds crazy, but when you see it, it's really cool. It's spectacular. In addition, there's all the speakers are on there with their profiles and pictures, so you can see them, what they look like. You can message other attendees that have created a profile in the app. You can see a list of the exhibitors and who is sponsoring, and you can see on the floor plan of the exhibit hall where a particular exhibitor is located. And then you can also go into the gamification tab, and this is really fun. The game this year is a series of challenges that you can do for points. The challenges include answering questions, checking in with exhibitors and sponsors in the exhibit hall. There's a lot of just crazy things that I threw in there to keep the game a lot of fun. You have to go into the experience room and different things like that. There's some great prizes, and those are all listed in the program and in the app as well. I've kind of drilled all of this into the HLLA staff, so any of us will be able to help you if you have questions on site. But it's a good idea to download the app and get it ready to go so that you're familiar with it, and I think you'll really like using it on site too. There is Wi-Fi in all of our meeting space, so you shouldn't have any trouble getting into the app. I am continuing to load all of the presentations, the PowerPoint presentations, which I'm still receiving from our presenters. So you should be able to see all of those right on your mobile. So if you're in a workshop and you are looking at a PowerPoint, maybe you can't really see it very well, you can always just look at it on your phone. And then also, lastly, and I'll let Joan get back to the conversation, all of the URLs for captions, so the real-time captions that you see in each room can also be viewed on your smartphone or mobile device. In addition to that, when you get into the URL for captions, there's a drop-down menu, and you can select your language. And I think we've pretty much figured out of the 22 countries where people are coming from, what languages they speak. And so all of those languages will be in the drop-down menu, and they can select, you can select the language that you'd like the captions in. So that's groundbreaking technology by OneCap App, and we are really thrilled to debut it to our convention attendees this year, and I think you're really going to like it. So I'll stop talking about the app because I could probably talk about the app the entire hour we have, but I'll let you get back to it, Joan. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy. That was a good explanation about the app. Better than I could have done. So right now what I've done is I've progressed to page 9 of the convention booklet. So I have page 9 up on my screen. I'm hoping that the rest of you can also get to page 9 of the program guide. So I'll give you a minute to maneuver there. I see we have some new people in the room that have just joined, so hopefully you're getting the captions on the top of the screen and that you have the program guide in front of you. And even though I have advanced to page 9 of the program guide, you're going to have to do that as well. So I'm going to assume that you're there, unless I hear otherwise. What is on page 9 and 10 and 11 is the schedule at a glance. This tells you everything that's going to be happening during the convention from Wednesday through Sunday. So, for example, on the first page, we're going to assume that many of you will not be getting there on Wednesday, but some of you will. But as you can see, There, in the afternoon, are the HLAA Leaders Chapter Building Workshop. At 3:30, there's the State Chapter Coordinators Workshop, also a State Association Workshop. And then at night, from 7 to 9, is the HLAA Board of Trustees annual meeting. That meeting used to be held on Thursday mornings, but because of everything that was going on with the convention and with wanting to make the plenary sessions on Thursday mornings accessible to everyone, they moved the Board of Trustees meeting to 7 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday evening. So, like I said earlier, if you don't get there on Wednesday and you miss these very important meetings, you're going to be updated on what happens in these chapter and state meetings and the Board of Trustees meetings at other times through the convention. So we want to make sure that you don't miss out on the important administrative type information that's imparted in these types of meetings. So then on Thursday we get started. And basically there are 6 aspects to the convention. First of all, you have the exhibit hall, which is open all 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The exhibit hall is like a smorgasbord of all the vendors who are coming to this convention and setting up a booth in the exhibit hall to tell about their services, to show their products that they have for sale, to talk about the latest innovations that they have for their companies. And we have an entire convention hall filled of vendors. And the exhibitors, we're not going to go there right now, but the exhibitors are all listed on page 30 to 39. So you can read exactly who's going to be there. So you can kind of scope it out ahead of time to see if perhaps Phonak is going to be there, or Oticon. Say, for instance, you've been investigating hearing aids and you would like to see what Phonak has to offer. They will be in the exhibit hall. Another component is the State and Chapter Development Room. All throughout the convention for the 3 days, the State and Chapter Development Room, which is going to be in the Monroe Room, will be taking place concurrently with all of the other educational seminars that you can attend. So that's another reason why it's very important that you go through the booklet now before you go to Washington, so that you can circle everything that you want to see and then go through the schedule at a glance and try to find out if you can go to everything you want to go to, which is a difficult thing because some things are happening at the same time as other things that you want to see. So it's very important to prioritize and pick and choose what you really want to go to. So besides the exhibit hall and the State and Chapter Development Room, there's also a demo room. The demo room, which we'll be going through, actually what we can do right now is advance to page 16. So I just advanced to page 16. The demo room is very interesting because you can actually go in and have real-life products that you are interested in demonstrated to you. There is even carts provided in the demo room so that if you have difficulty understanding, because there might be a lot of people in there, it might be a little noisy, it's going to be carted. So for example, on Thursday, June 23rd, the first one at 12:15 is a demo done by Phonak on how to build your Rogers system. A Rogers system is an FM system that is used in conjunction with your hearing aids. Later on in the afternoon at 3:15, you can see Cochlear Americas is having a demonstration about how you upgrade your cochlear devices, what some of the wireless devices are that you can get. So check out the demo room schedule on pages 16, because you might find it goes over into page 17 as well. It goes over all of the basics of what you might want to have demonstrations done. And so you can check and see which one of those demos is really important for you. Another aspect of the convention, which is new this year, is called an experience room. We're going to go to page 21 right now. And I've advanced to page 21. And there is a little inset there, and it describes the experience room. The experience room is similar to the demo room, but the demo room has a set schedule of Phonak, Advanced Bionics, and all the various other people who are doing demonstrations at specific times. Whereas the experience room is a room where you can go and experience solutions for your home and office listening challenges. It's going to be set up with comfortable furniture, and it's going to be staffed by audiology students. And they're going to demonstrate basic loop systems that you could put in your home, FM systems, Bluetooth systems, apps, and it's going to be kind of a free-for-all. You won't have a specific appointment or anything, but you'll be able to share and see what other people are viewing in the demonstration room, in the experience room. And so I myself would like to check out some various personal loop systems that I'm looking for some other people that can't come to the convention. So I'm planning on going to the experience room just to see what they have in there, to see if maybe it might be pertinent to this person who's experiencing some challenges. Another major aspect of the convention are the workshops. These are the educational workshops. And what I'm going to do is go down to I'm going backwards to page 12. Okay, so now I'm on page 12. And the workshops are on page 12, 13, and 14. Now, besides the state and chapter development room that I already mentioned, there are 4 other tracks, are what they've called, of educational workshops that are taking place concurrently. So the first one is in advocacy. That's in the Jefferson East room. The second track is assistive technology in large area systems, which is in the Lincoln room. And hearing aids and cochlear implants, which is in Jefferson West. And living your life, which is in Georgetown room. And these workshops under Living Your Life are about coping strategies, how to thrive better at work with the hearing loss, the different psychosocial aspects of personal relationships. So it's really a very interesting tract, as are all of them actually. But as you can see that they're going on at the same time. So from 1:45 to 2:45 on Thursday, you can see that there are 5 workshops taking place at the same time. So now you can see your dilemma, because you might want to go to a couple of them at the same time. And this is where, again, you're going to need to spend some time with your program before you get to Washington and pick out the programs that you feel are the most important for you. Excuse me a second, I need some water. Okay. So again, I urge you to go over the workshops. And all of the workshops are explained in detail towards the back of the program so that you can read exactly what the program is going to be about. You can pick and choose from each track. You don't have to just stick to the advocacy track. You can pick one workshop from advocacy at a different time of the day. You could pick another one from hearing aids and cochlear implants. So I don't want you to think that you just have to pick one track. You don't have to sign up for any of these ahead of time. You just show up. Some of the programs are very well attended, so you might want to try your best to be on time. I know that there's only 15 minutes between each workshop, but the workshops are all relatively close to each other. So that's another thing that I wanted to do, was go to the floor plan, just to briefly orientate you to the floor plan of the convention site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to page 8. And I'm sorry if I'm jumping you all over the place, but this doesn't flow on a page-by-page linear fashion. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm on page 8. And this shows you the floor plan of the Washington Hilton. The picture on the top of the page is the lobby when you first walk into the hotel. And this shows where some of the eating places are that are located in the lobby. There's a coffee house. There's a restaurant that serves breakfast and lunch. And of course, there's the bar. And then there's another sports bar in the very front that is open for lunch and dinner. So there are quite a few options available in the lobby of the Hilton. And the picture that's below is called the terrace level. The terrace level is going to be one level below the main lobby. So as soon as you walk in the hotel, you're just going to go down one level to the terrace level. And down there, and that level, is where the convention registration will be, and the exhibit hall, and the demonstration room, which is in the Gunston room. So you'll be spending your exhibit hall time on that terrace level. Then if you look at the bottom of that page, there's the concourse level, which is underneath the terrace level, one floor. And that's where all of the workshops are going to be, except for the demo room. So you have the Monroe room, the Lincoln room, the Jefferson West room, the Jefferson East room, and the Georgetown. And as you can see, they're all together. And so it'll be easy to use your 15 minutes between workshops to scoot to the ladies' room or the men's room and then get back to one of the rooms where the workshops are going on. The experience room is also on that level. And the opening session, the research symposium, and the Saturday night banquet, and the Sunday morning awards breakfast and ceremony will all take place in that international ballroom, which is to the left side of that picture of the concourse level. So even though we're dealing with two different levels here, it's actually quite compact. There have been some conventions we've gone to in previous years where everything was on one floor, but you had to walk quite a ways between the rooms, and it was kind of like a hike. Some of the rooms were a hike. This is very compact, and you're actually just going up and down versus going long distances horizontally. So that's a brief explanation of the map there, and I really think it's going to be a good layout for all of us. Okay, so now there are some special meetings of interest that I want to go over so that you know about them ahead of time. And so what I'm going to do is go to page 18. So if everyone would join me to page 18. These are some special meetings that are going on that I just wanted to point out. I'm not going to go over all of them, but on Thursday at 12:15 to 1:30, I'm going to be doing the same orientation in the Lincoln room for people who did not come tonight, that are there for the very first time and are wondering what to do. And so you're going to have hands down a leg up on these people, because you're going to have gone through your program already and you're going to have the inside information. But if you'd like to come and see me in person and make friends with all the other new attendees, please, by all means, come to my newcomers orientation. If you're from New York or Texas or Florida, I wanted to point out on this page That Friday morning, there is a New York State breakfast at 7:30. On Saturday morning, there's a Texas State meeting. And there's a Florida meeting. I'm just not seeing that one at this moment. But if you are a member of any of these 3 states that I've just mentioned, there will be a breakfast or a lunch. The Florida group is having a lunch that you need to bring your own, of course. They're not providing it. But that might be a way for you to make some new friends and to get acquainted with people from your chapters. Okay, so that's it on that. And then what I wanted to do was talk about the opening session and the Get Acquainted party on Thursday. This is a very important session for you to go to. So I want to go to page 45. So we're going to zoom to page 45. Okay, so I'm on page 45. So Thursday is a very big day. It's very jam-packed with all kinds of things. You're just getting there. You're trying to get acclimated. But I want to make sure that you know that the opening session of the convention is like the big kickoff to everything is held in the ballroom at 5:15 to 6:45. And you can read there on that page. I'm not going to read all that goes on, but who's going to be speaking and what's going to occur at that meeting. And then to the right of that, there's from 7 to 10, there's a young adult event. And this is it's a murder mystery experience. And it's taking place at a restaurant near the Hilton. And this is for all young adults. Apparently young adults are 18 to 35 now, so I won't be able to go to this. But if you are interested in going to it, it sounds like a lot of fun. So after the opening session is complete, then you could go to the young adult event. If, like me, you're older than 35 and you don't want to go to the young adult event, you can make sure you go to the Get Acquainted party, which is from 8:30 to 10:30. And this is really a lot of fun. And some people usually ask me, well, if we go to the opening session, then how do we go out to dinner and get all that taken care of and then go to the Get Acquainted party? You don't really have to go out for a formal dinner if you don't want to. I just wanted you to be aware of the fact that there is hors d'oeuvres and there's a cash bar at the Get Acquainted party. And I was talking with Nancy last night, and she assures me that the Get Acquainted party is going to be a lot of fun. And I wrote down some of the things that she talked about. Was at the Get Acquainted party, there's going to be a portrait artist, a silhouette artist, a chair massage, prizes, gift baskets, gift cards. There's a cash bar, and then there's some really yummy appetizers that are going to be there. And it's really a good way for you to get to know everyone. And it's not just everybody that's there for their first convention that goes to the Get Acquainted party. Pretty much everybody goes to the Get Acquainted party, even old-timers like myself, because we love meeting the new people that are there for the first time. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope that you'll take advantage of that. Okay, so we're getting close on time. I want to mention a couple more things about some tickets. So there are still tickets available for the banquet, which is on Saturday evening. And the tickets are $75. So if you decided that you didn't want to buy a ticket to the banquet when you first registered for the convention, but now you'd like to go, you can still buy one when you get to the counter to register on Wednesday. They do have a cutoff of on-site ticket sales at the end of the day next Wednesday. So if you're not getting there until Thursday next week, then you might want to consider purchasing your ticket online or emailing Nancy to take care of that. And the banquet is really going to be a lot of fun this year. We're having Max Major, who is a magician. And you can actually go to maxmajor.net, like Nancy wrote in the chat box, if you want to read more about him. And it's just going to be a very entertaining evening, and it's lovely. There are also some tickets available for the Friday night events. There are 2 Friday night events, and we're going to go to page 50. And on the right side of page 50, there's a section that says Friday night off-site events. The first one is the scavenger hunt, which is taking place in DuPont Circle. So we're going to meet in the Georgetown room at 6:45, and then we're going to get our instructions and then go off on a scavenger hunt. So that's the one I'm doing. I signed up for that. It sounds like a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll have good weather that evening. The other one is if you don't want to go out walking on your own or doing something like the scavenger hunt, you can go view the monuments of Washington, D.C. by bus. And that's going to be from 6:45 to 10. And I'll tell you, I've seen almost all of the monuments by night in Washington, D.C., and they are just so beautiful at night when they're all lit up. Especially the FDR Memorial is just incredible at night. So the Friday night tickets are $30 for the scavenger hunt, or $25 for the tour of the monuments by night. And again, you can still purchase those tickets either now or when you get to the convention site. Just one other thing about the banquet tickets. If you did purchase the banquet ticket, and you've already done that, that's great. So when you get to the convention, what's going to happen is you get your registration materials. You're going to get a little piece of paper that goes with your badge that you're going to be getting. And the little piece of paper is going to have the table number for where you're sitting at the banquet. If you don't get a piece of paper with a table number on it, that means you don't have a seat reserved. It means you have a ticket, but you don't have a seat reserved. And so what you'll need to do is there is a table at the information counter, and the people at registration can tell you where that is, to go and make sure you get assigned to a table. You can also do that online still. In case you have not done that, you can do it online. But by next week, you won't be able to do it online anymore. You'll need to take care of it when you're at the convention. One thing I want to mention is that I can almost guarantee you that all the rooms are going to be cold, especially the workshop rooms and the ballroom. I have found over all these years, it doesn't matter where we are, I'm always cold. And so please believe me when I tell you that the rooms are usually cold, and bring a nice wrap, or I've even known some people to bring a little blanket with them. Okay, so there is a question about the Monument by Night tour. Are people going to dinner together during the tour? Nancy, can you answer that?
The best thing to do really is to grab dinner before you go. We are going to have snacks available for you, but definitely not dinner. And everybody that's going on the off-site event will also get a water bottle so that you can fill that up and bring that with you, but not dinner. So I would suggest you grab something quickly before you go.
Okay, great. And then another thing I wanted to mention that's just kind of a miscellaneous item is that in the exhibit hall on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there is going to be a free lunch thanks to one of our sponsors. And it is limited to 400 people, so not everyone will be able to get the free lunch, but you'll have insider information now because you heard it here tonight the first time. And they are boxed lunches. I just wanted you to know that. 3 different choices of meat or vegetarian options. And that's Thursday from 12 to 1:30, or Friday and Saturday from 12 to 1. So that is an option for free lunch if you need that. And then the photo booth. There is a fun kind of photo booth that takes place every year where it's located in the exhibit hall by the Phonak Advanced Bionics booth. And they have a huge booth in the exhibit hall, so it's not difficult to find them. But near there, and right across from it, is a photo booth where you can go and get a picture taken of just yourself or you with the gang that you're with, or some new people that you just met, and it's really nice momentum that you get from the convention. Okay, so I've talked about the tickets. I've talked about all of the accessible features of our convention, and I've talked about the importance of prioritizing when you want to go to the exhibit hall, which workshops you want to go to, when you might want to go to the demo room because there's something particular of interest that you want to see, when you maybe have a spare moment to stop into the experience room and see if there's something there that piques your interest or lets you know of something that you hadn't heard about before. And then, of course, all the special meetings that are going on. Now, I didn't mention that on Thursday and Friday in the morning, they have what's called plenary sessions. And these are in addition to the workshops, but they only hold the plenary sessions without anything competing with them, so that everybody can go to the plenary session and then on Friday morning to the research symposium. And these are held in the ballroom because, of course, you need a big space for everyone to attend. And these are really fascinating. You might want to read in the program who's speaking on Thursday morning and all about the research symposium, which is taking place on Friday morning. And Nancy just answered that all the rooms are looped, and that CART will be in every room, and there will be sign language interpretation at the plenary sessions, at the Saturday night banquet, and at the research symposium. And I wanted to I'm going to scoot to page 26. If everyone wants to join me on page 26. Page 26 lists our Convention 2016 sponsors. So you can see all of our sponsors on that page, and if it wasn't for them, the convention would not be nearly as wonderful as it is, because they support us, and everything that is available to us at the convention, like for the awards breakfast and the ceremonies and the get acquainted parties and the experience room, all this has to be paid for, and it's supported by these sponsors. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Also, the exhibitors, like I told you, are on page 30. So right now I'm on page 30. From page 30 to 39 are all of the exhibitors that are going to be in the exhibit hall. And so you can read them, you can read all about them further in the back of the program as to why they're going to be there, if they are showing a product or they're a service organization. And so you'll notice on page 30, Uber is one of our sponsors for the first time this year. And so we might want to use Uber. Now, if anyone has any questions, we're getting close. We have 10 minutes left. And I think I've talked enough, but I hope I've shown you this information in a cohesive manner that you can just dig into this book, this guide by yourself, and be ready to hit the ground running when you get there. And the most important thing is that you have fun. This is not work. This is just totally a fun, uplifting, educational, social experience. And I just think you're going to have a ball, and I want you to meet a lot of people and experience what it's like to view having a hearing loss as not something that's a pain or something that's just a downer that we're going to a convention to discuss. This is something that we're talking about together on how we meet these challenges together. And it's hard to believe that this is your first convention, but I think you're going to have a lot of fun. So, does anyone have any more questions? Or Nancy, have there been questions that we haven't answered yet?
There was a question, I think, about how to get the captions on your mobile app or on your mobile device when you're in the workshops. There's information posted in the program. I'm trying to get to that page. And then it's also on signage at each room. And and it'll be displayed. If you go to page 20 in the program, if you scroll up to 20, you'll see all of the communication access that will be in use at the convention. And you'll see a list of the rooms, and you'll see the corresponding URL or link. So when you go to that link, you'll open up a page and you'll see the captions for that particular room. Somebody I was talking to recently said, so I could be listening in one and reading the captions in another room. I guess you could do that. So Joan, you can attend more than one at the same time. All the rooms are looped, and then in the plenary sessions and by request for workshops, we have also sign language interpretation sponsored by Microsoft. To answer the question about can the captions be saved, I'm going to defer to Deanna to type in the chat box. I don't believe so. Deanna, if you're still here, could you answer that question? She may. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check on that. Okay, so
does anyone
any other questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions or concerns about how to get to the hotel from the airport? Is there anything that anybody wants to ask about that?
If you go to the Hotel Travel tab on the convention page, it does list options and links to websites. The Metro is a very inexpensive way to get to DuPont Circle, but I will caution that our entire Metro system is in what they're calling a Safe Track program, where they're doing a lot of repairs system-wide. So it's a good idea to get on the Metro's website and see if any repairs are scheduled the day that you are arriving, so that you don't get delayed. The Super Shuttle offers a discount. It's about $30 round trip, I believe, and that's a very efficient way to get there as well.
Yeah, I should.
Valerie has asked if there's a caption link in the app, please. Is it visible now? I'm not sure what you're asking, Valerie. If you're asking, oh, the caption link, is it in the app now? Yes, it is. If you go into the app and go to the info booth, you'll see a list of all of the links. They're not really live yet because there's no session going on yet, but they will be when you get there.
Okay, and there was a question that was about that someone said that was told there are no shuttles, and that's not correct. There is a Super Shuttle, and you can get it on that transportation link that's on the HLAA website. And I checked with them today to find out how much the shuttle would cost from the Reagan Airport, which is the DCA airport, and it was $12 each way. The cab ride from the DCA airport to the Hilton is approximately $30, or you can take the Metro. But there are, as Nancy said, the Metro is easy, but you do have 2 stops. You would have to change Metro once before you got on the red line that would stop at the Hilton. The Hilton, I believe, someone was asking if the Hilton has a shuttle to the airport. I don't believe they do. Nancy, is that correct?
No, they don't. Airport really is not very far in terms of driving. It does depend, it's DC traffic, so it depends on what time of day you're getting in. And when you get to the DuPont Circle station, it's about a 3-block walk to the hotel. Sometimes with luggage, that's not always convenient, but again, there's Uber and there's cabs too if you have difficulty getting from the station to the hotel.
Right, and Tony was asking about Uber. I really can't say what Uber would charge from the DCA airport to the Hilton, but like I said, I checked today and it's a $30 cab ride, so at least you have that baseline when you contact Uber, so you'll know whether that's a good deal or whatever they're quoting you. So what is the name of the DC Metro rail station on the red line for the hotel? Is it the DuPont Circle, Nancy?
That's correct, DuPont Circle.
Okay, so that's the one. That's the stop on the red line that you'll be taking when you get to the hotel.
Right. Right. As I said in the beginning of the webinar, I should be able to post a link to the recording of this. I hope to get that. I have to download it, but I have to get our webmaster to post it. So we'll try to get that posted by the weekend. It's a little crazy in our office right now, as you can imagine, but we'll try to do that. One other thing I wanted to mention, it's not in the app yet, but I'm going to add it. I just haven't received the list from the hotel yet. And that is a list of a list of restaurants near the hotel that provide discounts for convention goers, meaning that all you have to do is wear your convention badge and they offer a discount. And that discount would vary depending on the restaurant. But the DuPont Circle area has a ton of restaurants and bars, and it's really a fun area to be. So certainly take advantage of that. I'd love to keep everybody in the exhibit hall, but I know it's fun to venture out and see a little bit of the city too. And again, we do have those tickets available for the Friday night offsite event. If you're willing to put up with the craziness of the HLA staff, that's where we'll be, or most of us will be, is on the scavenger hunt. And we're really looking forward to that. So let's see, is there any other questions that we can answer real quickly? Metro is also one of our exhibitors, and they have a discount card that you can purchase. Of course, you're not going to be able to do that until Thursday, but you can look on the website for the Metro. They have discounts for senior citizens, for people with disabilities, and all the information about that is on their website.
Okay, so we have another question about whether the Hilton will be renting electric scooters. I have no idea. Do you know, Nancy?
No, they don't. You'd have to arrange for one of those ahead of time. If anybody has mobility issues and would like to rent a scooter, I can give you the name and number for a place that rents them. I know Bob Brannigan, our attendee coming from Seattle. Bob is one of two people that we know of that have attended every single convention. This will be his 32nd. And he has rented a scooter, and I can give you the name of that. Email me if you'd like to go that route.
Okay, well, it's exactly 9 o'clock, and we started on time, and we're finishing on time. And I think we've answered all your questions, but if you think of something else after we are done tonight, please contact Nancy, and she can always contact me if there's something else you want to ask me. And I really look forward to seeing all of you at the convention. And please, if you run into me, please tell me that you were in my webinar, and I'd love to chat with you. So, or otherwise come to my orientation session or see me at the Get Acquainted party. So thank you, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks again, Joan, very much, and thanks again, Bobby, for providing CART this evening. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.